world because today is really a special day. Every day is a special day, but today is special because it's really another day to manifest a miracle. And once you know how to manifest a miracle, you can do it over and over and over again. So I just want to define what a miracle is, or what I consider a miracle. And to me, it's truly a manifestation of love. So something that you have in your heart that actually manifests into form as a loving expression. And that loving expression becomes your life, right? So I invite you to take a few minutes right now to move into your heart space, drop into your core, and connect to your heart's desire. Something that you truly want to have that just makes your heart feel light, that when you think about it, you lean in towards it. And when you imagine yourself having it, it makes you smile. So I just invite everybody, if you're in a place where you can close your eyes, just to go in and just almost imagine that there's like a screen, like a stage, and what do you want to see on that stage as your heart's desire manifested? So just take a moment to see that, whatever that is. And again, keeping your awareness also in your core, because that is what's going to give you the resonance. And in a little while, I'm going to teach you how to activate that intuitive resonance so you can start following those green lights, so to speak, towards your heart's desire. So for now, just see an image of what your heart's desire is. So notice who's around you. Where are you? Notice the smells in the air. What are you seeing and hearing? Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just seeing yourself as if you're already there. Nice. And as you do, just take note, maybe place one hand on your heart, both hands on your heart, and acknowledge, okay, that's my heart's desire. So I know where I'm going. So one of the things that my teacher, Michael Bennett, taught me in NLP is you want to get from point A to point B. So our brain is so intelligent, and we want to use it effectively because our intuition is even more intelligent. So we have to use our brain almost as like we want to code it to where it needs to go. Right? So we say, all right, here's where I'm at now, and here's where I want to go. Here's the end goal, right? And then there's always another dream, right? But for now, we're going to start with this one. And this is your miracle, right? So your brain knows where it's going. Your heart is in resonance because it feels really good. And then take another moment to put both hands on your belly, right at your core, your gut feeling, that instinctual knowing. And that's the knowing, the truth within you. I often call it like the soul embodied, right? It always knows the truth. In fact, you can think about times now where you kind of knew something wasn't right, or maybe knew somebody wasn't telling the truth. And then you also knew when somebody was telling the truth and when something felt right, right? So there's always this innate knowing of truth. And I think sometimes it can be easy to be like, oh, let's just negate that. But yet you always know. So I invite you to really feel that place of connection, of truth within. And for me and most students I work for, it's in their belly and the core. Now, the heart, I believe you can also feel it in the heart. My experience, though, is actually it goes through the heart into the core. So your heart is on board, and deeper even still is your gut. So ultimately, you have your mind, your heart, and your gut all aligned, and then you're in resonance. Now, you'll notice when you're in resonance, when it feels right, you're embodied. So there's a lot of different energies out there right now and in general, right? So they can be thoughts. You can be picking up other people's thoughts. It can be the energy of the environment that you're in. Like I have a dear client that I work with, and it's so challenging for her to be in a certain environment because she's so sensitive. It's not even her energy. And I find that's true for a lot of us, right? So to start working internally with what we can do to manifest an experience where we feel good in an environment that makes us feel good, right? And you'll notice that you actually have the ability to create that. So your choices can actually move you into alignment with what it is that you want to experience around and within you. So feeling into your heart's desire, feeling that resonance, you're going to ask for a sign. So your inner eye is kind of like what I described. You can see within images, right? So when you close your eyes, you can get flashes of images coming. So if that doesn't work, you can also get a feeling of like yes in your body. And if you're more clairaudient, you can hear either a yes or no. So let's just open your intuitive channel. So you're going to move into and knowing whether it feels like a yes in your body. You can kind of think of, what a yes feels like for you or a no. Or you can notice your inner hearing, like hearing the word yes or no. And the clairvoyance, you can actually see, go ahead and ask that you see the color green, like a green light, or a red light for something that maybe isn't in alignment for you. Okay. So for now, let's just think about a choice so you can start to move into trusting yourself and finding that intuitive resonance. So think about maybe an upcoming choice. Like, sounds kind of silly, but right now I have to get one of my teeth filled and I'm not excited about it. So I'm using my intuition to find the right dentist office for me, right? And I can see a green light at a certain office and a red light at another one. So go ahead and think of a question that, some question related to a direction, right? A choice that you need to make. And then notice again if your body says yes, if you hear a yes or no, or if you see a green light or a red light. And then just trust what comes, knowing that you are connected to the universe. It is through you that you get the deepest wisdom and the ultimate truth. Right? Good. So just keeping a deep breath in and just starting to create this relationship with your intuition by trusting what you receive, right? So the first step is the resonance. The second step is trusting. And then the third step is taking action. So, whatever choice you get, you actually take action. You follow through, right? So now that we have your heart's desire and your ability to make the choices to move in alignment with it, you can actually ask yourself, what are my next steps? So what are the next steps moving forward that will put me into alignment with that? And I would love to hear all of your experience. Hi, B, nice to see you. I would love to hear whatever your miracle is. So if you want to type it in the chat, or if you want to send me an email to Abby, ABBY, at lifeforceconnection.com. I think it's really fun to engage and start what I call holding the space, right, for our intentions, because what happens is the energy that we put onto them expands. And it really, the space is really just holding this energy of unconditional love. And what that does is it opens up the energy, because everything that you want to experience actually wants to be experienced through you. So there's nothing hidden. It's actually trying to get to you. And our job is to clear the blocks to receiving it. So that's what I'm going to be sharing in the activation number 2 tomorrow for those of you who are on our community list. And if you're not on it, you can email us at success@lifeforceconnection.com to get on that list. And we're going to go through how you actually clear those blocks. But for now, continuing to just see what it is and feel and sense your heart's desire, your miracle. You're really just going to say intuition activate, right? So each moment you're guided and you're taking those next steps. And so I really want to emphasize this action piece, right? So when I first started my company, I was 19, right? And I'm having clients that are like 3 times my age sitting in my office. And I'm like, okay, I know they're here for a reason. I know whatever comes through me is going to help them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. So if you can trust in each and every moment, whatever is in front of you, you can handle it. You know what to do and say and be to manage that, to meet that moment with the love that you are. And so as you, what I call channel that energy of just pure light and love, more good comes back to you, right? And you're like, man, I can do this. I am doing this. And then you start to realize that you're living a life you love. And then you keep, like for me, I just keep going on the edge of it, right? It's like, all right, I have this private practice. Well, let's expand a little bit more. Let's dream a little bit further. Let's expand more. By the way, if you start to feel fear, there's a really awesome trick that one of my coaches told me one time. She actually said, her name's Tina Ferguson. You can look her up. She's amazing. And she actually said, expand. When you start to feel the fear, expand. If you expand into love, the fear will actually disappear. It's crazy, but it's true. So, whatever that dream is, you just keep expanding as you start living it because you're always growing, right? So, as a private practice is going, I dream about this wellness center. And sure enough, a few months later, that university that I was working with moved their building. And I'm like, hey, can I come along with you? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. So then I was able to expand my building, right, to offer the wellness services. So, my point in telling you this is you're constantly going to be guided to grow. And if you can realize that everything within you is there for you to be able to do it by activating this love within you and this guidance, right? You then bring it to reality, right? You're like, oh, okay, now that I'm living this center, this wellness center, what's next? Oh, okay, I want to become an author and a speaker. So then, the other thing you can do is voice what it is that you want to do. So I was like, I told the director of SCORE at the time, I said, hey, like, I really want to become a speaker. I'm like 20, 21, whatever. And she's like, oh, awesome. Like, you can come speak at our organization. There's like 140 people. And I'm just like super excited. I remember I was training for a marathon at the time. So I was just getting more and more embodied. So I'd like swim, right, to kind of build my body up. So that's another way you can get really engaged in your intuition is you just start to embody, be more of yourself in your body. So I'm just like swimming, embodying this energy of, okay, I'm going to reach all these people. What's that going to feel like? And just stepping into it. And in that moment, just what I shared, I had the same thought. Okay, all these people are in front of me. I know that I have exactly what they need to hear. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in front of me, right? Just like you, just like all the people you're meant to reach. So I give the talk and there's like these raving reviews and I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is easy. Like this isn't hard. It's, when you're following your purpose and your intuition, which is exactly what's going to get you on purpose, by the way, is following your intuition. And, recently I'm having a lot of clients that, they always knew that their intuition was there and now they're coming back to it. So it's always going to be there, right? So even if you haven't listened to it in the past, in case you hadn't noticed, it's still there, right? Like it's still waiting for you to unlock that door of the wisdom there. And the purpose it wants to show you, so that's why we do our intuitive success coaching club is like, hey, the energy's here, and it's now a certification school, for people that want to get certified because why not, right? Like to be certified in who you are and teach that, it's like the greatest thing. So as you're moving into your purpose and following your intuition, it gets easier and easier. So for me, it was speaking, right? So then that, I kept getting guidance to write a book. So then that came through in like 4 days. And I'm like, oh, what do I do now? Okay, publish it, right? And so then that goes. So as I kept taking those steps, it just unfolded. And you'll notice when you take a step in love, the universe meets you with love. Like, think about any time that you have taken a step forward in love, not exactly knowing how it would turn out, just knowing it felt right and moving in the direction of your goal, right? Just like we started this video with, okay, this is where I'm headed, right? Whatever that heart's desire is. And Sonia Choquette is somebody, she endorsed the Miracle of You with me. She's just a famous intuitive teacher as well. And she basically said, that love is the food of the universe. So when you realize that you are always connected to that flow of love, it will meet you, right? And that resonance is your intuitive guidance. It's like, yes, yes, yes. So as you think about a time that you followed your intuition, notice what happened. And notice how easy it was once you made the choice to listen to your intuition. And like the struggle and the trying to figure out how, like your brain just kind of gets on board because your intuition already knows, right? That's why it's key to connect with the truth. Now, I think I've shared this before, but there's like 500 million receptor cells in your gut alone. So the more embodied you get and more intuitively connected you become, the more you're picking up information, the more you're kind of like decoding, the energetic field to know what's going to be in alignment for you or not. And that's why you really listen to that red light, green light, or your body saying yes or no, or having that inner voice saying yes or no, because it's putting you in alignment again with the resonance of where you're going. So as you continue trusting and taking that action, you see the results, right? So it might be fun. Another thing Sonia said, I remember early on, is like to have a journal, right? So start writing all the times that you followed your intuition and something amazing has happened. And it's like building that muscle, right? Like you just start to trust that, oh, I can trust my intuition. Like it actually is leading me where I want to go. And it's really fun. And then you start building a community around you, right? Whether it's your families or friends or your business, of like, wow, you're really fun and enjoyable to be around because you're just really happy, right? And that's really the invaluable result I was talking about and following your intuition. It's that fulfillment, it's that happiness and that joy. Because, a lot of clients, they manifest their beautiful homes and can reinvest, or their soulmates. These are all expressions, right, of that love. But the fulfillment is in their connection, knowing that they can do it again and again and again because they're connected to their intuition. And it's the same for all of us, right? That intuitive connection allows us to have that inner compass, that guidance. So seeing if there's any questions. Like I said, feel free if you guys want to type any of your questions in there. So let's just take a moment to really bring our connection in deeper even still. And I also want to invite everybody to go to lifeforceconnection.com, where we have the free download where you can activate each of the chakras. And also you can learn more about our certification program and the one-on-one work that I do. So these are just ways that I'm starting to open you up. But what I've seen is as people actually take these classes and do the coaching work and apply it, it's almost like they're accountable and they see it, right? So I really invite you to see what speaks to your heart and open up to having that support and being part of that community. So for now, let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Let's roll our shoulders back, and we're just going to imagine, you can probably even see this beam of light. It's amazing how in my house this light comes through my crown chakra. So that's actually what we're going to do, is we're going to imagine a beam of light coming straight through your crown chakra, so the very top of your head. For some people, it helps to imagine that there's a lid on your head. You're going to take that lid off. And so you're just going to imagine you're linking up to source, linking up to the light of all that is. And then like a waterfall, you're going to downpour that white light straight through your crown, down through your third eye. So that inner eye, that inner vision we were working on earlier, through the back side of your head, all the way down through your throat. Just softening, opening up your expression, opening up the light, and then lifting your shoulders back so you can have your heart more open. So receiving that light straight from your heart, allowing that light to downpour all the way down to a couple inches above your belly button, right at your third chakra, your belief in yourself, your power, your decision. And then down into your belly, a couple inches below your belly button. And then down into your tailbone, resting there. And then allow the energy to flow all the way down through your legs, all the way down to your feet. And then connecting your feet to the earth, imagining that you have roots of light, grounding down through your feet. And then imagine that you're connecting to the center of the earth, and that at the center of the earth there is this ball of just gold, oranges, beautiful light. Just plugging into that light source. And then feeling that light source now move up through the bottom of your feet, very gently, feeling yourself grounded, welcomed, wanted, loved, deeply connected. And that energy continues moving up, this beautiful, loving, light energy, up through the bottom of your feet, your legs, up through your torso, making sure it touches your tailbone, up through the front and back side of your spine, all the way up through the top part of your head, and then back up at least 5 feet above. And then you're going to send it back down again. So you're going to do it 2 or 3 times. And this is just cleansing your field. So this is just getting rid of any excess energy that isn't yours. So you're just purifying and clearing that channel. Whenever you feel complete, go ahead and gently open your eyes. And I'm going to ask a few questions so you can experience your intuition even deeper. So, for you, if intuition was an image, what would it be? Just kind of notice what you see. Intuition was an image, what would it be? You might even want to write it down. And then ask, if intuition was a sound, what did it sound like? Maybe write that down, hear that. And then taking a deep breath in, if intuition was a smell, what would it be? And if intuition was a taste, what would it taste like? Go ahead and taste that, maybe write it down. And if it was a feeling in your body, how do you experience feeling intuition in your body? So just notice where, notice if it's light or heavy. Maybe even notice if it has a color. And just embody that energy, that knowing of intuition now. As you do, I invite you to bring your thumb and your first finger together and hold it for 3 seconds. And then go ahead and release it. And whenever you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Just notice the state of probably calm and presence you feel. When we feel deeply connected to ourselves, we naturally feel deeply connected to the universe. And we know we can re-access it. So what I did by bringing your thumb and index finger is, it's called a kinesthetic anchor. So what it does is it links your nervous system up saying, hey brain, every time I do this, I feel connected to my intuition. Or you could anchor any type of feeling, right? But it's a neurolinguistic programming technique that works within neurology, right? And that's a lot of what we do in the intuitive success coaching sessions, is we actually reprogram where there's been disconnection from love or from yourself, right? With negative thoughts or emotions, which have become beliefs. And then we reprogram them with positive beliefs that line up with your intuitive knowing and then support you to continue taking those action steps with love and manifesting your miracle. So just go ahead and use this. I invite you to just notice, and you might just be sitting throughout the day and you're like, oh, wow, I do this. Oh, I instantly feel this peace and this knowing and this connection to my intuition. And then, if I ever feel like lost or not knowing what to do, like I know I can just, go back to my intuition and get that knowing and trust that truth. And as you do, you can really just tune out the rest, right? You can just let go of what what doesn't serve. And you're constantly staying in that alignment with pure love. So I feel like I want to keep it just simple and sweet and really just practice this one thing. And like I said, tomorrow I'll be giving the second activation of clearing the blocks. And again, if you're not on my email list, you can email me at success@lifeforceconnection.com, or email me also or us at that email address if there's anything else that we can help you with. Any personal thing that you have going on too, we can do private sessions or just chat to help you out with that. All right, everyone, have a wonderful week, and I will probably talk to you tomorrow. Bye.